Peace and love, everybody. Salute. Peace to all the good people. All right, so lot of ambiguity going around surrounding Mr. Gervonta Tank Davis, you guys. I'm not sure if you guys have peeped yesterday that he took to his Twitter and he wrote, quote, "Everything is still a go," regarding his supposed scheduled fight that is allegedly going to be taking place on the 14th of December, right? Now, this comes by way of all types of rumors swarming around that the fight had been canceled or that it had at least been maybe postponed or that it was up in question. Now, these rumors have been circulating for nearly 2 weeks all across social media, as I'm sure you guys are aware, and has left many in question as to what the issue was or what it could have been that started generating all of these types of speculation surrounding his fight with Lamont Roach. Now, there were some reports speculating that, that there were some issues with the venue. I came across other reports stating that Tank was demanding a particular amount of money and had threatened to back out of the fight in totality if he did not receive what he was asking for. A lot of differing views and perspectives out there as to what could have led to the stall of this fight. Now, Tank confirming this, of course, puts a lot of this or all of it to rest, or at least it should. But nonetheless, there are still questions that people have, still some uncertainty going on. One of which is, why is it now that he just decided to take to his social media to confirm that it is happening amid, let's say, the past 2 weeks of speculation? Why is he just coming out now? Was there something brewing underneath and behind the scenes that nobody was aware of? What's going on? Why did he just make such an announcement? Why did he just now decide to pop out yesterday? Why have things concerning Tank overall been handled so obscurely is something that I want to know. Things have been very vague with this young man. And certainly regarding this fight, I'm definitely wondering if he and his team perhaps caught wind of all of the backlash that they have been receiving by way of the fans towards this fight. The criticism has absolutely been heavy from fans who feel that this fight is senseless, valueless, and a downright waste of time, quite honestly. A lot of people feel that way. And it isn't a good follow-up in a lot of boxing goers' minds to what was the highly anticipated fight that he had between he and Frank Martin back in June. Now, that was a fight of anticipation, and this fight just absolutely blunders and pales in comparison. Now, fans like myself had the assumption that Tank was essentially going to be turning over a new leaf, so to speak, right? And that he was going to be aiming, since his fight with Frank Martin, to be fighting and aligning competition of value, okay? Actual top contenders in his division from that point onward, from the Frank Martin point and onward. But it looks like Tank once again psyched out the entire boxing world with his latest choice of opponent. Good fighter in Lamont Roach, nothing against him, but he is a 130 pounder. That's not something that we could bypass or negate the reality of. Real talk, okay? We thought that that's what's going to happen, that he was going to be fighting the elite, among him at 135, but that just didn't take place, okay? He pulled up yet another small guy and said, let's get it popping. And now I know that a lot of people across social media have been positing that, this lackluster choice of a matchup that he is setting up supposedly on December 14th was basically due to the fact that, quote unquote, nobody wants to fight him. But I find that hard to believe considering the fact that Mr. Davis Wahid is supposedly the face of boxing. He's supposed to be the king of this. He wears the crown. He calls the shots. So how could it be even fathomable by any measure that it's hard for him to find an opponent when he's the man with the bag? I just don't know how he could be fighting to convince contenders at his own division within 135 to step in the ring with him. Doesn't make sense to me. And nobody has been able to explicate or expound upon this. Okay. The fact that Mr. Davis Wahid is supposedly the face of boxing is something that cannot be used as an excuse by any stretch as to a reason why he cannot find an opponent. As a matter of fact, he should be knocking people away from his doorstep with a broom, with a shoe, and everything else to keep away the people hunting for his crown. Not that it's a ghost town when he steps out to his front porch. I guess the trend in boxing right now is to justify anything, even the unjustifiable, logically. But anyway. Moreover, and equally curious to me, is how it was alleged that Tank Davis received something like a $250 million contract for a 6-fight deal. So just looking at that alone, how is it possible that he was given such a gargantuan contract? Okay, such a substantial amount of money in a 6-fight deal, allegedly. But that the rumors that were starting were alluding to a potential issue that he was having regarding his pay. How could that be if he was already offered an alleged $250 million contract? How could he have been having an issue with money and threatening to back out of the fight when he was already given, it's just, there's no logic that I'm able to wrap myself around within the speculations, within anything. Everything is just up in the air. Things are definitely quite convoluted. I don't know which end to believe, but certainly him coming on Twitter and saying that the fight is still a go, I guess is supposed to clear a bit of the air. But at the same time, everything else surrounding the fight is still shrouded in ambiguity, okay? To my understanding, Jamel Charlo was said to be a part of the fight card for this, also Demetrius Andrade, though not much else has been divulged about who else is slated to be a part of this card. All in all, real talk, y'all, this is the most bizarre matchup for me of the year for so many reasons, including the newly circulating rumors, down to his fight choice as a whole. Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach is not a fight that I asked for. It just isn't. And my feelings still stand, whether the fight was canceled, whether it's up in the air, whether it's going forward. It's not what I asked for. Perhaps the undercard can bring some added enthusiasm to the picture. Not sure. Either way, it's not something that I will be investing in financially, if you know what I mean. I will not be paying a damn dime for this fight at all. Okay. There also hasn't been any information given as to when a presser will be taking place. What is up with the ambiguity, y'all? Jesus. No presser date announced? It's like these people are begging for this fight not to be taken seriously. Even more than it isn't already, real talk. I don't know. I suppose for those of you who are in anticipation, all 7 of you waiting for this fight in anticipation, I guess you guys will find out soon enough. But so far things are looking very vague, very weird concerning this fight. But I guess we'll see what happens. That's it for me, y'all. I'm on to the next. Peace.